Hey, this is Jason Morris with Real Estate Facebook group Real Estate Agents That Really Work, and I'm on the phone here with Larry Goins. I've been following Larry for probably 10 years. Larry is a investor trainer from up around Charlotte, North Carolina. Larry, you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
What's going on, buddy? How you been?
Oh, doing great, man. Doing great. You're doing
man.
some exciting stuff. I was telling somebody about you the other day that you were, in the past, I know you were doing a ton of buying and selling property.
Well, I have been doing a lot. My name is Larry Goins, and I live in Lake Wiley, South Carolina, which is just across the state line from Charlotte. I've actually done deals in 12 different states, have books in the bookstores, and my first book was called Getting Started in Real Estate Day Trading, How to Buy and Sell Houses the Same Day Using the Internet. My latest book is called HUD Homes Half Off, How to Buy a HUD House at 50, 40, even 30% of list price. And I've been a huge buyer of HUD houses. In fact, of the 21 deals we have on our board right now, the majority of them are HUD houses, probably all but about 4 or 5 of them are HUD houses. And I love HUD. I really do. And I love agents. I love agents.
Wait just a second. You said you got 21 deals on your board. Now, this isn't you're not a real estate agent, are you?
Well, I am licensed, but I am not active. In other words, I haven't taken my CE in probably 8 or 10 years, but for some reason I keep my license renewed every year. But I don't have CE. I haven't taken the CE. I'm not active, and I do have other agents that I work with, and I love agents, and agents love me because, we do what we say we're going to do, and we close deals. It's not like I'm out here, I'm not one of these late night seminar junkies, late night, midnight infomercial seminar people. And then I'm just out there wasting their time. The realtors we work with love them.
These are 21 deals that you got on your board that you or your company's personally closing.
Right. That's exactly right. And some of them are in different stages. Like some of them we just literally got under contract. Like I think we had 3 under contract last week. And then some of them are in the process of closing. Some of them we've already closed on. We're in the process of selling them or doing lease options with them because we do several different things. We wholesale houses, a few, not a ton, but we wholesale houses, and we also seller finance houses. Like a typical deal might be, I sell a house to a borrower, somebody who can't get a bank loan. I'll sell it to them for say $69,900. I'll get $5,000 down. I'll carry back a mortgage or do a land contract, and I'll finance $64,900. And then I can either keep that paper or I can sell that paper to a passive investor. And the good news is, a lot of times, not only does a realtor bring me the property that I end up buying, but a lot of times a realtor will end up bringing me a buyer for that house that they basically can turn a dead lead into a sold lead, because even on the properties that I'm calling about, when I'm like if I'm calling you a realtor, okay, say you got a listing on a house, it might be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, it might be listed for $50,000 or $40,000. Maybe I end up paying $30,000 for it, okay? And another thing we could talk about, too, is I love double-wide mobile homes with the land. I love it.
I do, too. I love trailers, man. I think that's the big secret in the industry nobody talks about.
I think you're right. I just picked up one in Newberry, okay? We just got it under contract. It was listed for $49,000. They dropped it to $39,000. They dropped it to $29,000. I picked it up for $15,000. Okay, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet. All it needs is a heat pump outside, the outside unit. I can get that installed for $1,500, and then I'm going to turn around and lease option it for like $59,900, get $5,000 down, and then I could sell that to a passive turnkey investor, or I can just keep it in my IRA.
Yeah, that's amazing. So. Let's back up just a little bit, man. To be able to do, I know as an agent, I close about 8 to 10 transactions a month, which sometimes is
awesome.
A little bit crazy for me. But you have 21 going on. Now, what kind of staff and what kind of infrastructure do you need to have 21 personal transactions closing?
Well, that's a really, really good question. I learned a long time ago. Now, I'm a really good salesperson, okay? I can close people, whether it be a seller or a buyer or whatever, a tenant, whatever. But I learned a long time ago, I can maximize my time and do more deals with less effort if I put systems and processes and procedures in place. We have a CRM we call Podio. You've probably heard of Podio.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, that's the CRM that we use, and it's totally customizable. It's great. We market and advertise, and leads come into Podio automatically. It creates a task for my sales rep to pick up the phone and call the person and qualify them to see if they qualify, how much money they have to put down and how much they can handle per month. Or if we're wholesaling, we're building a list of wholesalers, and we can just send out an email and wholesale that property. So we basically have it sold before we buy it. And we do that. We do seller financing. And with Podio, that's great because everything goes in there, and there's tags and opportunities, and it creates tasks.
Wow.
And then I have a girl in closing, Alyssa. She's just phenomenal. She does really, really good. And
man, so you literally have sales reps and a closing coordinator, just like I do as a real estate agent with my assistant.
Yeah. And acquisition, we got a person that does nothing but analyze HUD houses and MLS deals, puts a number on it, and then we have a VA, a virtual assistant in the Philippines. She comes in at 5 p.m. and works till about 8 p.m., and all she does is submit bids all evening.
Wow. So is she, that's amazing. So you're generating your own buyers for deals. You're out there looking for sellers to buy your properties, whether it's
Right.
another investor you're wholesaling to or another buyer you're wholesaling to.
Right.
That's pretty amazing, Larry. I mean, you're acting as a principal in the deal. So let's say I'm a real estate agent, which I am a real estate agent. I shouldn't say let's say I am. I'm a real estate agent. I want to work with people like you. What do I need to do? What do I need to? How do I get started doing that?
Well, there's several different ways, actually. If you have any properties, have any listings, or you want to send me any listings that that I need to make an offer on. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you. I might offer 60, 70, 80%, but I also might offer 50, 40, 30% of list price. And I don't want
making an offer that works for you.
Yeah, I don't want an agent to ever think I'm wasting their time, because I wish I had $1 for every agent that came back to me that had never worked with me before and came back to me and said, wow, I can't believe they took it. I wish I had $1 every time. You know what? I got to tell you this. You're going to love this. I have wholesaled properties to agents before. Properties that were on the MLS, Jason. I had a guy in Kings Mountain, North Carolina, not too long ago, a property up there. And it was a HUD house. And I can't remember what it was listed for. It seems like it was listed for, I don't know, $60,000 or $70,000. But I was wholesaling it for $40,000. Now think about this.
Yeah.
If I'm wholesaling this property for $40,000, what did I have to pay for it? I had to pay at least probably $30,000 or less, okay? Because I try to make 10 or 12 if I'm wholesaling a property. So an agent wanted to buy it, and the first thing the agent said was, "Wow, this house is on the MLS. How can it be on the MLS for $60,000 and you're selling it to me for $40,000?" My first answer was, "Do you want it or not?" But the real answer is you don't know if you don't make the offer. You don't know if you don't make the offer. I bought a house a while back. It was listed for $44,000. This was a HUD house, okay? $44,000. I paid $8,125 for that house.
Oh my God!
Is that crazy?
I got a watch that costs that much.
I hear you.
You're telling me a place you can live in.
That's funny you say that, because when people, when somebody meets my wife for the first time, they say, "Oh, that's a beautiful wedding ring." My first response is, "Yeah, I bought houses cheaper than that ring," but they don't know I bought houses for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
So you're just going out here, and you don't really have necessarily a target area like in Charlotte, North Carolina. You're working basically the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, wherever you can find a deal.
I've bought deals in 12 different states, right from this office. Never leave the office. Don't look at them, although somebody goes out to look at them. But I focus on all over the Carolinas and Georgia. I do a few in Georgia. Like right now I have a property in Georgia I picked up. It's a it's a double wide mobile home. It started out listed for $49, $39, or somewhere around there, dropped down, and I picked it up for $21,000. Jason, this house still has stainless appliances in it. It needed nothing. I lease optioned the property. I got $3,000 down. They're paying me $625 a month. Now I'm selling that property loaded with a lease option tenant to a passive investor for $45,000.
Wow. So with you're putting in a lot of offers. What would you say, like, for agents that are going to be listening to this? I know some agents, they'll talk about working with investors and they go, oh, well, they made a couple offers and they were low and I don't want to work with them anymore. What kind of ratio do you see, like, number of offers to an offer get accepted? Like, what do you typically see? How many offers do you have to put in to get one accepted sometimes?
That's probably the best part about it is if a person is brand new, they're not going to be able to look at a deal and look at the days on the market, the condition of the property, and the list price and the comps and how many times it's been reduced, and be able to tell approximately what that bank or seller will take for it. Okay.
Yeah.
And you find a lot of newbie investors. They're going to go out here and talk to a realtor that just got a listing last week for $69,900, and they're going to offer $20,000. Well, that's not going to happen. Okay. Yeah. That's not going to happen. But if that house started out listed for $69,900, after 30 days, they dropped it to $59,900 and then $49,900 and then $39,900. I'll go in and pick it up for $35,000 and be happy, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Because I'm not doing a fix and flip. There's two things about real estate that I hate. I hate rehabs and tenants. I don't have tenants. I have homeowners in training. I never have a tenant. All my tenants plan to buy the property. I always do a lease option. And I always have them put at least $3,000 down on an option money. That way they have skin in the game, and they're also responsible for the repairs up to X. And I give them credit for the option. I tell them I credit it to their closing cost, but anything over and above that will go toward their down payment if and when they do close. That way they don't have equitable interest. And I am not violating anything with Dodd-Frank because I'm very compliance-oriented. I want to make sure I dot every I and cross every T, and I don't have any problems. And, a lot of people say, yeah, but they're probably never going to be able to close. Some people aren't going to be able to close, but some people are. I mean, just to give you an idea, and I know your people are going to want to hear this because I believe in doing good, clean, honest, ethical business and treat people the way they want to be treated. Having said that, I've got a house that reminded me of a house that I bought 5 years ago. I had $55,000 in it. I think I paid 40-something and put 10-something in repairs, so I had about $55,000 in it. The first time I did a lease option, I got $5,000 down, and I lease optioned it at $79,900. That person stayed there for a year or so and moved out. Second person put $10,000 down. They stayed there for about 14 months, called me up and said, we can't stay here anymore. We're going to have to move out. I said, look, you're not getting your $10,000 option money back. Let me lower your payment to help you out. So I lowered their payment from $800 down to $600 to help them out. $200 a month. That's what they said they could handle. They stayed there another 6 months, and they couldn't stay anymore. So they called me up one day, and this is the kind of relationship that I build with them. They called me up and said, Larry, we're going to have to move out. I know you keep the $10,000. I get that, but we really do hate to move out. But we have a friend that wants to buy the house, and we're going to put them in touch with you. Now, that friend ended up putting $3,000 down, and they only stayed there for about 8 months because the less they put down, the shorter time they stay, okay?
Yeah.
After that person moved out, I just literally last month put somebody else in that property and got another $10,000 down. I went from having $55,000 in that property down to $27,000. First time,
oh wow!
The option strike price was $79,900. Second time it was $79.9. Third time it was $89.9. And this last time it was $99.9. And I did nothing to the house in between times. The only time I ever did anything to the house was the very first time when I bought it. I went in and I painted and I did some landscaping and I did some work in the kitchen and the bathrooms. And that was it. Never done any work since then.
Continue to go up.
Yeah, the market goes up, and I love this business. We're creating long-term passive income, and I'm in the process right now of restructuring some things in my business. So what I'm doing right now is I'm starting to do more deals inside my retirement accounts than outside my retirement accounts. And a lot of people, even realtors, a lot of times don't know that you can do that.
I've got some clients I've worked with. They're using a self-directed IRA. And I've done a tremendous. I got one client that I've probably done over 100 transactions with, and buying and selling stuff from auctions and different stuff. And he does it almost solely with his self-directed IRA. And
that's awesome.
This is recorded. He started with like $20,000 or $30,000, and he was telling me a while back how much he had in that. I mean, he's probably over $600,000 now, but he buys and sells strictly with his IRA, and it's a real interesting thing. So is that what you're doing?
That is what I'm doing. And, you have to have a self-directed IRA custodian, and there's a lot of them out there. There's Equity Trust,
Yep, you use an Equity Trust.
There's Camaplan. I know Camaplan really well. I have accounts with them as well. CAMAPLAN.com, Camaplan.com. There's also Quest IRA, QUEST IRA. I know Quincy Long, the owner of that. And any retirement account, you can buy real estate. You can buy real estate. You can buy notes. There's a lot of different things you can do. But see, most traditional custodians are not set up to be able to administer real estate within an IRA. So you have to have somebody that specializes in that. And all you do is just do a transfer. You can transfer all of your money or some of your money over to a self-directed custodian like Equity Trust or Camaplan or Quest IRA, and then they allow you to purchase real estate, and they're going to charge you a small transaction fee every time you buy or sell a property, and that's the way they make their money.
So you can convert your 401k over to a self-directed IRA, right?
Well, you could. Now, most employers do not allow you to convert a 401k unless you no longer work there. Some do, but most don't. But if you left an employer and you have a 401k and you need to roll it over somewhere, absolutely you can do that. Not only that, Jason, but you can do an HSA, health savings account. You can do an ESA, education savings account. You can have a solo 401k, a safe harbor 401k, a simple IRA. That stands for Savings Incentive Match Plan for Employees. You can do all those. You can do traditionals. You can do Roth.
People that don't know about this right here, what's the advantage of buying it with your retirement account?
What's the advantage? Well, think about it.
I know, but for other people listening.
Yeah, you know exactly. But if I bought a house in my LLC, if I bought a house and then I bought a house and I fixed it up and I sold it and I made $30,000. Well, if I'm in the 30% tax bracket, $10,000 of that comes right off the top. If I bought it in my Roth IRA, I made $30,000 profit and I'll never pay tax on it. Because a Roth, you don't get a deduction when you put the money in, but you don't pay taxes when you start taking it out. And with the Roth, there's no RMD, required minimum distribution. In other words, when you turn 70 and a half on a traditional IRA, you got to start taking out money every year based on your actuary table. How much is in the account divided by how long they think you're going to live. That's how much you got to take out every year. With the Roth IRA, you never have to take it out if you don't want to.
Wow.
If you don't want
just pass it. You pass it down to your kids, grandkids, whatever it is.
You can. Absolutely you can. Or you can take out whatever you want tax-free.
Wow.
Tax-free.
Wow.
But you only want to take out what you need because the best kind of IRA is an inherited IRA. Because let's say you got $1 million in there, okay? And you draw it down to $500,000, all right? because you've built it up. You got some rental properties in there. The rental properties are paying you $10,000-$12,000 per month, and you're taking you're taking out whatever you need to live on. But let's say when you pass away, you still got $500,000 worth of property in there. Throwing off $12,000 a month income. Well, say if your children inherit that, they can take that out over their life expectancy, which right now I think is around 90 and a half. So they take whatever age they are, minus 90 and a half, minus whatever age they are, whatever money's in there, divide that by the number of years, and that's how much they have to take out. But because it's a Roth IRA, they take it out tax-free. They take it out tax-free.
So let me ask you, this is a question for me personally. And I've been in the real estate business 13 years and sold a ton of property and stuff. And man, I get up every morning and I get on the phone at about 8 o'clock and I'm calling looking for listings from about 8 to 11. And some days, one of the questions I keep asking myself is man, I've been doing this for 13 years. What's after this? What's after real estate, and when does the calling end? So for a new agent that's never really went out there and bought and sold real estate, they're getting ready, they're thinking about their future and what they should do, and they already work in the real estate industry. What should they be doing, Larry? What should they be what should be their first steps, towards, hey, either building that passive income or buying and selling properties? I mean, a lot of agents, that's kind of like their dream. Eventually I want to flip properties is what they say. So what's the first steps they should take and start working towards that?
Well, and I do a lot of training and educating. We have books that are available in the bookstores, and we do seminars and home study courses and have coaching and mentoring. But the thing I've found about everybody who wants to get into the investing side of real estate, they want cash now and then cash flow later. So right now they want to flip a few houses, whether it's wholesaling or doing fix and flips, which I hate fix and flips, okay? I've done my share of them, and I hate them. They just take a long time. I've never seen a property come in on budget. Now, there's some people that could manage contractors and manage rehabs, but I'm not one of them, okay?
Yeah,
but,
I'm not a detailed person.
But check this out. I'm a licensed general contractor and have been since the 80s. And I don't even like contracting, okay?
I understand.
But anyway, everybody wants cash now and then cash flow. So what I tell people is buy a few deals, sell it, whether it's wholesaling or doing fix and flips or whatever, but generate some cash and then take that cash and invest it long term. I've even got a model that I call filthy riches. We buy a lot, Jason, of little $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 houses, and then we turn around and sell them for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 with owner financing, and we get $2,000, $3,000 down, and then we collect $400, $500, $600 a month coming in. Those are little deals I call filthy riches. And I got a webinar. I can give out a link. People can go check out the webinar if they want to. But
yeah, sure.
filthyriches.com. I got a little 7-part video series you can opt in to check out. filthyriches.com. But yeah, I love that little model. You're getting huge returns. I've got returns anywhere from 119 to 788% return on my money.
Wow. And for a lot of agents that are listening to this, I got a lot of agents that are from Florida and they're from California and Denver and these markets where average sales price is $400,000 and $500,000, where when you come to the Carolinas, whether you're in Myrtle Beach, you can buy an amazing home for $500,000. It's
right.
What do you get for $10,000? What kind of house is that?
Well, here's the thing. Most of the houses that I pick up for $5,000 and $10,000, they're probably listed for $25,000 to $35,000. Okay, and I end up paying about a third for them because think about it. They've been on the market for a few months. Not many people are bidding on them. They're built in the 30s. It's probably a 900 or 1,000 square feet. And they're probably
usually one bathroom,
50, 70 years. Yeah, 3-1, something like that. It's not the most desirable property, but because I'm picking it up for a third of what they're asking, and then I turn around and sell it for 3 to 4 times what I paid for it. let me give you a simple rundown. And I got to tell you, some of my most successful students live in markets where there are not any of these properties, like on the West Coast, okay, where
Yeah.
the prices look like phone numbers, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Foreign phone numbers at that. But a typical deal might be, let's say we pick up a house for $5,000, okay? We turn around and sell it for $30,000, and I've even sold these on eBay before. And we put them on eBay.
Wow.
The bid is for the down payment. We put ads on Craigslist, linking the eBay listing on the Craigslist ad, so we get people coming and bidding against each other. And let's say they bid up the down payment to $1,000 down. So now I sell the house for $30,000, $1,000 down. Now I have 4 in it. All right, I have 4,000 in the house, and they're going to be paying me, let's say, 9% for 10 years. Their payment's going to be just under $400 a month. All right, 360 something or somewhere around there, probably 70 something. But think about this: they're paying me almost $400 a month. Okay, but I got 4,000 in it. That's about a 100% return on your money right there. And the buyer pays the taxes, insurance, repairs, maintenance, and I don't have any cost. Now, yeah, I have closing costs. I didn't figure that into the scenario. But
I mean, you're providing like a pretty serious service, because I know banks aren't financing anything under $50,000. And a lot of the people that are buying these houses, if they're not like an investor, if they're buying it for primary residence, chances are they couldn't get financing on their own anyway.
And think about this too. Every time we call about one of those kind of houses, we always ask the agent, hey, do you ever get people that call about this house or any other houses similar to this that you know they got a couple $3,000 to put down, but you know they can't go get a bank loan? Hey, if I'm able to buy this house or, even any other house in the area, you send them to me, I'll still pay your real estate commission.
Yeah. So lots of times you're closing on it, you already have a buyer lined up to either lease option it from you or basically give you a down payment, move right in.
That's exactly right. I mean, think about it. It's not a lot of money, but if they got a buyer that has $3,000 to put down, they send me that buyer that buys my house for $30,000. Well, I'll still pay them 3%. That's $900 for a dead lead.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's not a bad deal, is it?
That's not a bad deal, man. I mean, it's just basically passing on a phone number. And owner financing stuff, we don't have a lot of owner financing in my market right now. So whenever I list something where they will finance it, that's a little bit cheap, they will. It's like I get bombarded with people. It's insane. I'll have calls. I'll be able to keep up with the calls I get on it sometimes. I mean, I sold one a while back for $57,000, and the guy was willing to take $7,000 down. And
there you go.
I had so many calls I couldn't keep up with them. I was just going and hanging out at the house like for a couple hours and just letting people come by. I mean, it was really kind of
that's huge.
It was really kind of ridiculous. But our market doesn't have anything like that right now. So whenever it does, I just run some Facebook ads and just kind of sit and wait, or I forward them off to a buyer's agent that works with me, and we try to make things work out. That's been pretty interesting.
Awesome.
So Larry, but you're doing a lot of HUD, you're doing a lot of HUD offers and a lot of HUD properties. How are you getting HUD properties so cheap? I didn't know the banks and HUD were willing to work with you like that.
Well, that's a really, really good question. I'm glad you brought that up. I am in the Charlotte MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area, okay? I mean, literally, I'm 20 minutes from the airport in Charlotte, all right? Jason, it's been over 3 years since I bought a house in Charlotte. Why do you think that is?
And they're just not available. Charlotte's market's hot, isn't it?
Competition. That's where all the investors are. Most of my houses that I buy, I'm going to buy a house in Rocky Mount or Florence or Sumter or Conway, or I'm going to buy one in Parkton or Pembroke or Jacksonville or Fayetteville. Those are kind of probably the largest areas that I buy properties in, actually. But most of mine are going to be in bedroom communities, small towns from a bigger, larger metropolitan area. Like I said, I haven't bought a house in Charlotte or even Raleigh or Greensboro or Columbia. Like I just told you, I got a deal in Newberry. That's outside of Columbia. It's not in Columbia, but it's outside of Columbia. So, you know, and I picked up that house. It was listed for 49, then 39, then 29, and I picked it up for 15. And I'm going to put
so
a
you're kind of going out on the outskirts of town.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's true and not true. Here's what I do. Like with the HUD houses specifically, I bid on every HUD house, all right? Every HUD house that's a 3, 1,000 plus square feet, all right? I bid on all of them. But which ones do you think they take the low offers on? They take the low offers on the ones outside of town because investors and owner-ocs are bidding on the ones inside the city. So I'm buying the ones outside, or they're taking the low offers on the ones outside of town. Now, having said that, just regular MLS listed properties, I've got searches set up for all of North Carolina, 50,000 or less, all of South Carolina, 50,000 or less, and Georgia. And all we do is go in and analyze the deals and submit an offer. We put together a written offer, send it over, cash offer with, a deposit check, everything, copy of our bank statement, showing that we can buy, 20 or 30 of them at a time. So, I mean, listen, the realtors I work with love us because we're easy to work with and we know what we're doing.
Of course. I mean, you guys already have attorneys and everything. We just need to help you get a property. That sounds like about it.
That's all I need.
And there isn't really just you doing this.
Deal flow.
There's investors really, I mean, all over the place doing the same thing you're doing, maybe on a smaller scale, but or less large of an area is what you're doing it. But there's investors all over the place doing the same thing.
Absolutely, there are. Absolutely.
I say that because I know if anybody's listening, you want them to bring you deals. But if somebody's in, Nevada or Denver, Colorado, or wherever, they could basically take the same strategy and look for investors to work with.
Absolutely.
And really just add a whole new,
I could even
almost like a whole new division of their business.
That's so true. I mean, I could even pay more. Yeah, I get houses at 50, 40, 30% of list, but I also buy houses at 60, 70, 80. I bought a house in Parkton recently. Parkton, North Carolina, I believe. Small town. This house was listed for $44,000. Okay? It was available to owner, with HUD, they're only available to owner-occupied buyers for the first 15 days typically. Sometimes now you don't have to wait, depending on the house, but anyway. So on the day it became an extended listing, in other words, investors could bid on it, we called up the agent because we were running comps. We were looking at this house. It was a 2,200 square foot, double-wide mobile home on an acre and a half of land. It was built in 2007. And the house needed nothing. You could see the vacuum cleaner marks in the carpet. It needed nothing. And it was listed for $44,000. So we called up the agent like, what's going on? The comps are coming in at 90 to 120. Why is this house only at 44? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. They priced it low. It's a small town. They want to move it quick. So the realtor also said, I got 3 other bids from investors coming in today. So we started thinking, wait a minute. If you got 3 other bids, I wonder if any of them are going to be list price. What if somebody bids list price plus 100? What if somebody bids 40, which is 44,100? What if somebody bids 44,101? Well, let's just go 44,500. Let's go 44,501. Well, maybe somebody will go 44,600. Let's just go on up to 45. What about 45,100? What about 45,101? Let's go 45,501.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's go 45,601. That was our bid, Jason. And we got it. We got the house for 45,601. It was listed for 44. I didn't know if anybody had bid anywhere close to that. It might have been the highest bid was 35. I have no idea. But I got the house.
You guys made an offer that worked for you.
Yeah, but check out what we did. We put it right back on the market for $99,900 with $10,000 down, owner financing. The third person that looked at it called us up and said, We already have our own financing approved at the local credit union. If we get our own loan and you don't have to finance it for us, will you take 89.9? What's the answer?
Of course.
Of course. So we sold the house for 89.9, and we did absolutely no work to it. Well, that's not actually true. They got a home inspection, and the home inspection said we needed a water heater. We spent $400 on a water heater. We bought it for $45,601. We sold it for $89.9 retail. That's a fix and flip without the fix. And we made net after everything. We made $38,000 on a double-wide mobile home in Parkton, North Carolina, out in the middle of nowhere, and we didn't even touch it. Is that cool or what?
That's awesome, man. You know, I tell other agents, like when I did analysis of my market, I realized like 78% of my market was under 175, and like over 50% was under 100. So I really started focusing on going after listings under 100,000. And sometimes I have to charge a little more as far as fees and stuff to make the money I want in each transaction. But,
right.
Man, but mobile homes, I feel like it's the big secret. Like everybody avoids them. If you're a real estate agent, you avoid mobile homes for some reason. I love them. I've listed everyone I could buy.
I love them too, man. I love them too. You get some deals on some, you let me know. I'll be a cash buyer all day long.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we do quite a bit. I do quite a bit of mobile homes and stuff. And it's just because our market, that's the only affordable housing really left. Like if you're looking under 100,000, and a lot of people are. They, you know, an average job here pays $12-14 an hour. So they, you know, a lot of people can't afford, you know, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 house payments, you know. And
that's exactly.
It's really interesting, and it doesn't seem that there's nothing coming into the market to fill that void in our area. You know, the prices and stuff. So, well, Larry, you know, man, this has been really interesting. So, you got a book too that on buying and selling HUD houses, don't you?
I do. It's a newer book. It's called HUD Homes Half Off: How to Buy HUD Houses at 50, 40, even 30% of list price. And even though I have bought them at 20% of list price, I don't put that on the book. but yeah, if your listeners would like to get a copy of that, it includes my spreadsheet for analyzing deals. It includes free tickets to one of my upcoming events. Just a lot of different freebies that we have that go along with that book. You can go to freehudbook.com. That's freehudbook.com. Pick up your copy. We'll email you a digital version. If you want to pay shipping, I'll send you a physical copy, and I autograph them all right here in my office. I usually autograph about 1,000 of them at a time, and we order them. You know, we order about 1,000 of them every month. And I'll just sit in meetings and autograph the books while we're having meetings, and then we ship them out. We got some other bonuses and stuff like that. But yeah, if they want to go to freehudbook.com.
So the book is free.
Get a copy.
Right? Is that what you're telling me? The book is free?
Well, you can buy it wherever books are sold. It's available wherever books are sold. But I created this special website so when I do interviews like this, that I can give out a free copy to listeners. I mean, you can go buy it if you want to, but if you want a free copy, just go check out freehudbook.com, and you'll get a free copy of it.
You know, even though most of my listeners are real estate agents, I mean, there's some strategies in there that they can use for themselves or use it for clients and stuff to sell houses. And yeah, I'm sure there's more than a couple of gems in there they could pull out, especially with a free book.
Well, you know what's really funny is probably about, I don't know, maybe a third, I don't know if it's a third or not, maybe 20 to 30% of my investor students, trainees, people who get our education material are real estate agents. So we do have a very big following of agents. I mean, I love working with agents. I hardly ever buy a house that's not on the MLS.
Man, that's pretty awesome. So Larry, I know I've kept you on the phone here for a little bit. I really appreciate you being on the call with me. So if somebody wants to learn more about you and the stuff you're offering and stuff, where can they find you at?
Yeah, well, I do have another website called LarryGoins.com, LarryGoins.com. We have a lot of education training. We also do a weekly radio show at WBT, home of the Panthers, and it's broadcast on iHeartRadio. But you can get information about that at LarryGoins.com as well. And go over and grab your free HUD book at freehudbook.com. And yeah, if you get any properties or whatever, let us know that as well. We're always buying.
Man, well, I really appreciate it here. And give me just a second. I'm going to stop the recording. And thank you for being here, Larry.
Man, thanks a lot for having me. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. And thanks a lot